What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today I'm bringing you one of my favorite PvE builds to run. Now this build definitely runs a little bit better on PC because all rifle builds I believe run better on PC because of the fact that you have a single fire rate weapon, right? So you have to constantly click, and with point and shooting with the mouse it's just a lot easier. This is all footage from PS4, so if you guys are wondering what build I'm playing this on, I'm playing this on console, so it does work on console, but I believe it will excel on PC due to it being based around headshots. We'll get into that in just a second. Remember, if you're new to my channel, first time watching one of my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notification bell on, so that way when I release a video you guys get notified. Also, smash the thumbs up if you guys enjoy this video, and if you have any questions after watching this video, use the comment section down below. So the main gun I am using is the MK17, and my secondary is the hunting M44, and I'm gonna break down each talent for each weapon and how I have them modded. So let's get into the MK17. As you guys already saw, using just the MK17 I was able to get to 1.1 million DPS, so it hits really hard. The base damage on this is 44.1k, RPM is 275, and the mag size is 36. Now the talents to make this build effective and more efficient is using Ranger. Every 5 meters you are from a target grants 2% weapon damage. Now I also enjoy having extra magazine capacity on here because that's going to give me 20% magazine size. And then just for the bottom talent, don't worry about it too much. So you want to go for extra and then Ranger. Now the way we have this MK17 modded is for the scope, I'm running a hollow sight that's going to give me 8% damage to elites. Then we have a laser pointer that's going to give me 5% critical hit chance. I have a muzzle that's going to give me 5% damage to elites. And then the light extended mag is going to give me plus 10 rounds. So that is how you guys want to mod this weapon for this build. Now for my custom M44, it's 105 base damage. It also has the talent Ranger, so that is one talent you want to get not only on your rifle but on your sniper builds, because every 5 meters you're from the target you get that 2% weapon damage. The middle talent is going to give me 15% accuracy, and then for the bottom talent, like I said, on most of your guns just try to find the one that works best for you, but at the end of the day, unless you have a perfect rolled gun, you're not going to waste the roll on that bottom talent. So for the scope, I'm running 35% headshot damage, and that's going to give me negative 10% reload speed. I'm running a vertical grip, 10% accuracy, and then the muzzle is also going to give me some damage to elites, 5%. Now if we jump into the pistol, the only talent that I recommend getting on the pistol right now, especially for this build, is stop, drop, and roll. This is going to remove all your status effects like burning, bleed, and poison, and this can happen every 60 seconds. Now if we break down this build, you can see I'm running 9 offensive, 10 defensive, and I'm running 223,000 armor, 62,000 health, and then my skill power, we're not really worried about it for this build. But we're going to go into the first piece, the mask. This mask is giving me 10% hazard protection. That's going to protect me from bleed, burn, all your status effects. Plus, I have 31% damage to elites on here and in health. So I'm really for that. That's why I have this mask. Also, I have hard hitting with that 15% damage to elites. Now for the chest, I'm running the Overlord, and this is going to give me that 10% rifle damage. And since my main weapon is a rifle, that's what I really want to go for. This has bonus armor, it has weapon damage, and it has health. Now a really good PvE talent for putting out a lot of damage is Unstoppable, especially if you are stacking a lot of armor. Killing an enemy grants 2% weapon damage for every 10,000 max armor. So the more armor you have stacked on here, the harder you're going to hit after every kill. So once you get a kill, that's when Unstoppable kicks in. And then I'm running all offensive system mods, which is going to give me 1% weapon damage, 3% rifle damage, 3% shotgun damage, and then a defensive mod with 3,000 bonus armor, armor regeneration, and then of course explosive resistance. Now if we jump into our next piece, we're going to do the holster. The holster, I'm running a Gilligard. This is giving me a 2-piece because I am running 2 pieces of Gilligard. I always recommend at least running 1 piece, that 5% total armor, but the second piece I pick has really good rolls, so that's why I picked it. It's going to give me 20% hazard protection. Then I'm going to have the attributes of health and then critical hit chance. And then we are running an offensive mod. This offensive mod is going to give me 0.5% weapon damage, 3.5 headshot damage, and then 3% optimal range. And then I'm running another offensive mod with 2% weapon damage, 2% SMG damage, and 3% marksman rifle damage. For the knee pads, they give me 8% health, and I always like having armor and health on any kind of PvE build. This is going to give me attributes of bonus armor. And then the talent I really like, especially since you're running a rifle build and a sniper build, you'll be in cover, right? So patience after being in cover for 3 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every 1 second. So this works really good with this build. And then once you use the right specialization with this build, it all works when you're in cover. Now if we get into the gloves are going to give me 5% protection from elites. So this is going to help against those named and elite enemies, those gold enemies, right? And then the attributes I have on here are 5% rifle damage, 155 skill power. Now I wish I could have something that had rifle damage and marksman rifle damage, and that would be exactly what I'm looking for. And then it has hard hitting 15% damage to elites. So we're stacking some type of damage elites to this build because it is a PvE build. Now if we get into the backpack, you're going to see I have my second piece of Gilligard. This is going to give me that 20% hazard protection. This has bonus armor, critical hit damage, and then health. Now, that critical hit damage isn't what I really want on here, but hey, it's the role I got. I'm really using it for the talents. So I get the damage to elite 15%. And then I have using an armor kit has 50% chance to not consume the armor kit. This works great for PvE since you'll be in cover. If I pop a med kit, I have 50% chance of having armor kits. It has a defensive system mod slot. It's going to give me bonus armor, disorient resistance, disrupt resistance, and then I have an offensive mod slot, which is going to give me weapon damage, weapon handling, and critical range. So 2 mod slots, increasing the efficiency of this build. So if we get into the stats, this is where you're going to see how effective this build can really be. It has 49,000 base damage. It has 10% critical hit chance, 45% critical damage, 89% headshot damage, and then the range is 50, 1.7 reload time, which is great because I have a small mag, right? We have 30% reload speed bonus, 30% accuracy, and 30% stability. And then the next couple stats are really what make this build. So offensively, we have 14% all weapon damage. We only have 3% marksman rifle damage, but this rifle can still put out 1,000,000 because once you guys trigger unstoppable, and if you get the right distance, you're still going to put out a lot of damage. Look at this, 1,000,000 right there with the sniper rifle, and I only have 3% marksman rifle damage. That's why you don't have to worry about the damage on the marksman rifle on this build because it's already going to be there. We also have 33% rifle damage and then 89% damage to elites. That's gold and named enemy. That's why this build hits really hard against those gold and named enemies, and it will melt purple and red just as well. Now if we get into the defense, you guys already know I'm running 223,000 armor, which I can bump this up if I get some better rolls. We have max health of almost 63,000, health regeneration of 31,000, hazard protection 30%, so that means I'm going to get 30% all the way down the board for bleed, blind, burn, but I do have some disorient and disrupt extra on this build, so I get that 40%, 44%, and then of course 30% shock resistance. So that's why having hazard protection actually works really good in PvE because there are a lot of status effects you get. So if we check the specialization you guys need to make sure you run with this build to take full advantage of it is running a sharpshooter, so make sure you have sharpshooter active. And then I'll go over some of the talents of why it makes this build really effective. Of course, the additional 15% rifle damage, but what we're really going to focus on is that 25% headshot damage you get from this build. So that's going to stack not only on my rifle, but also my marksman rifle. Also, the 30% increased reload speed allows the use of smaller magazines, and that is why having the specialization not only for the headshot damage, but for the reload speed works really good with rifle builds, marksman rifle builds. There are a few more perks on this specialization that works really good with this build. This being one of them. After 20 seconds in cover, you start regenerating 5 marksman rifle and 5 rifle ammo every 10 seconds. And with rifle builds, you want to be in cover, right? So that is why this perk works really good. So if you guys can unlock that, it'll improve your build. Another perk you guys should have active is going to be the perk right above this, and that is going to be all group members that are closer to the enemy than you get 10% headshot damage. So you're improving their builds by running this marksman. The next one, also extra armor gained while in cover. So if you're in cover, you're using the perks of this build, you're going to see the big difference of running this type of build. And then of course the last talent that I recommend is breath control, 30% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil, and then faster reacquisition of targets. So that is why sharpshooters are great for this build. Now remember, this build has some type of survivability because it is stacked with armor and a little bit of health. Some people say don't stack any armor at all. I still think you need some armor out there. Of course those NPCs hit hard no matter what, but having some type of armor works a little bit better than having no armor at all, right? But yeah, this is how I have my build set up. I've been using this one for a while. I think I may be tweaking a little bit in the future, but as of right now, I think it works good because it does have some type of survivability, and then you can still melt a lot of NPCs in front of you. Now the problem with using any type of rifle build on console is if you miss a lot of shots like I just did right there. I just wanted to show you that it's tough, right? With you guys on PC, you guys are going to be knocking out those headshots non-stop. You guys will not miss It's really hard to miss on PC, but on console, you guys know you can have your days that you're hitting stuff, you can have your days that you're missing. But overall, this is a pretty solid build. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Remember, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, first time watching a video. And as always guys, if you don't see me in Dark Zone, if you don't see me in conflict, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills is out.